Well, I just wanted to like pause you there, and just like full permission, man, to just say things are shit right now. Like, we can have a shit month, we can have a shit quarter, we can absolutely feel like nothing is working. There are moments and there are periods like this, sometimes short, sometimes long, where we feel we're getting punched in the face over and over again, or we're underwater. And there isn't like a magic pill to take. I mean, I don't have any advice. Like if I had a magic pill, that would be wonderful. But I guess if I were to give you one thing, it would be you don't need to like kick yourself while you're down about it. Like understand this is part of the cycle. Oh, and I just remembered the solution. Now I do have an answer for you. Understand that it is part of the cycle, and like an embodiment practice is to actually be with it and be with the emotion of it. And I mean, have you had a good cry? Have you had a cry about it? I mean, we can get into like L. Ron Hubbard type Scientology stuff of like, different vibrations of different emotional tones and that kind of thing. But save that for another day. I think what's most important is to like honor that there is an emotional link to what's going on with this. The little moments of sitting with yourself, acknowledging this feels really shit, are actually really good for you. They're really good for you, because even if there aren't actual like tears flowing or anything, what you're doing is you're connecting to your body, like to the emotional body, and neurobiologically, when there's an emotion that sits like kind of under the surface and we don't acknowledge it, that it stays with us, and it can stay with us all day. And that's where like if someone does like something to piss you off in the morning, like cuts you off in traffic, or like, there's this project that's gone, that has an issue and it's a big open loop and you haven't dealt with that, but you need to like, I have to go into action mode, or I have to do this meeting or whatever. And there's just like something simmering under the surface. I think most people here would know that can stay with you all day, right? Until you actually acknowledge it. If you learn, and this is one of the tools that I want to find time to kind of teach everyone here, if you learn to go into the emotions and like honor and feel the emotions and let them actually process, 90 seconds is all it takes on a neurobiological level for an emotion to move through. Imagine yourself opening a door, letting it come into your house, you open the back door and you let it go as well. And that might be bashing a pillow, it might be having a cry, it might be like having a quiet moment. That might be enough for it to move through, whether it's anger, sadness, joy, anything. But to really, really, really feel it, it kind of comes and goes. So I want to honor that part of this process for you is you have an opportunity to get connected to those emotions that are sitting underneath that layer. And when you work on that muscle of like, okay, you, Jimmy, as a leader, your growth as a leader, as you become competent and comfortable with your own emotional management, that then allows you to grow and be steady for your team, because they're probably picking up on your vibe at the moment, right? They'd have to be, yeah. And they'll probably have a bit of fear. They'll probably have a bit of fear as well, of like, oh shit, sales are a bit down. Jimmy seems a bit strung out. Oh, he had to fly back here. His family's somewhere else, right? And so in their minds, irrational or not, they might be thinking, is my job safe? Are things going to be okay for the business? I'm not suggesting that you should be like stony-faced, everything's fine, everything's okay, because that's not actually authentic. But it is your responsibility to acknowledge the reality to your team as a leader, and also continue to lead, because you do hold the responsibility. That's the responsibility that we hold.